Hello you lot, hope you're all alright, having a nice week. It's Wednesday now, I'm filming this on a Wednesday evening. I come out here to box up this bits and bobs, and I just filmed a video on glow starters and that, and how to charge them and do all that kind of stuff. It makes you think, really. You know what, it's tricky, like, well, in life in general, I suppose. There's loads of different ways of doing things, and everybody's different, aren't they? You know, what's that saying? Is it? There's more than one way to skin a cat, or something like that, isn't it? It's true. So it is tricky, trying to recommend a certain way to do stuff. That's why I always say, this is the way I do it, and it works for me. Me being me, I just sort of... The thing is, a lot of my stuff that I've learned about RC, I've just learned myself, When I was doing it, I never had a computer. When I was doing it, well, that made no sense, does it? When I was doing it, when I was doing what? Who knows? When I was younger, and I started with RC, and I was just sort of just playing around with the Savage and other bits and bobs. I didn't have a computer or nothing like that, We didn't have computers back then. Well, the computers were invented, but what I mean is my family didn't have computers or the internet, obviously. Mobile phones weren't a mobile phone, they were just a calculator. So I just sort of learned things, messed around. I learned how the engine works, I learned how to get it started, I learned the best ways to do things that worked for me. And I've sort of been in a shell the whole time, and apart from when I've got older. So in a way, these days, if you want to learn something, you can just look it up on the internet. So a lot of people find loads of... It can be really confusing and complicated for some people. Because, I've done it myself. I mean, obviously, I spend a lot of time on YouTube. In my downtime, my breaks at work and everything, I tend to just sort of sit down and... More often than not, most of the time I do have a sleep. I just sort of put my feet up and have a sleep in my break. But most of the time, if I'm not sleeping, I'm watching YouTube videos. And I like to just see what's out there, Even if I'm not particularly interested in learning something because I don't want to learn something, or maybe I don't need to. I feel like I don't need to. I still watch the videos. And... when you go on the RC section of YouTube, you can't actually pick the section, but you know what I'm saying. If you go into the room or the realm of RC on YouTube, there's loads of videos that people have put out there trying to help people, giving advice and tips and all this kind of stuff. Some of them just say, this is the way you do it. And other people just give, they give advice, which to me is just no good, useless. But that doesn't mean it doesn't work. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're looking, you don't know how to do something. Yeah, let's just say you bought a Nitro car, but you can't get it to start. Or maybe you haven't even tried because you don't know where to start to even get it started. So you go onto YouTube, or maybe you go onto Google and it brings you to YouTube. And you find all these videos on how to do it. There's loads of videos on how to start a Nitro car. And there really is. And a lot of people, all the methods must work because they work in the videos. But some people do overcomplicate stuff. And if you're trying to seek help and advice and you see all this different stuff, all this conflicting information, because a lot of it does conflict. You watch one video and they'll say do this. You watch another video, they'll say do this. And you think, well, that one said do that, but this one's saying do the opposite. What one do I do? How do I do it? That's the reason why I do make the videos, because I know that I'm adding to an already saturated... is it a market? It's not really a market, is it? But I'm adding to something that's already saturated with those type of videos. But to me, I feel like I make them less complicated because Nitro cars aren't complicated, especially for the hobbyist, especially for someone who's new into it. That's why I'd gear my videos up more to somebody who's new to the hobby, not to the advanced people, because the advanced people don't want help. They don't want me, some 31-year-old dickhead from England telling them how to do something when they've probably been doing it for 30 years and I've been doing it for 20. They've got 10 years on me. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I try to gear me help and advice videos up to the people who are just starting in the hobby. But it just makes me think how complicated and how confusing it must be for somebody like that. Do you know what I mean? I've had the same sort of thing when I'm looking things up for some other stuff, not RC related, you know, stuff to do with the motorhome, the Talbot or something like that. And you get one forum saying, this is what you must do. And then you think, oh, well, I'll take that advice, bear it out in mind, and I'll keep going looking on the Google results to find what the next one is. And someone else says, you must do this. And I'm like, oh, bloody hell, man. This man says, this is what you need to go and buy and do. And this one says you need to go and buy this and do that. What one do I bloody well do? In the end, I normally just take him all the advice I can find, put it in my head with a pinch of salt, and normally have to do a mixture of several things to end up with what I'm trying to do. Does that make any sense to you? I'm probably confusing you lot now. I think what I'm trying to say is, when you're looking for help and advice with some Nitro stuff, or even just general RC stuff, I think what I'm trying to say is, look at all the advice available, all the help available. Watch as many videos as you can, look at as many forums as you can, and take all of the advice and try and take the best bits from all of it. That way you'll come up with the best result, and you'll also find your own way of doing things, because RC, and more specifically Nitro RC, is kind of a thing where you do find your own way of doing things, and you find the way which suits you best. That's why I tend to very clearly say, this is the way I do things, and this is what works for me. Yeah, put in the comments, if you are new to Nitro still, are you finding it difficult? Because some people aren't mechanically minded. That's the thing. Some people just aren't mechanically minded, and they find it difficult trying to work with an engine and electricals and all of that kind of stuff. And other people that are, such as myself, find it easy, and you can understand stuff straight away. But for those who can't, they do get frustrated, and that's why they end up leaving the hobby. So stick it in the comments when you was new, or if you are still new to Nitro, how did you and how are you finding it, getting the help and advice that you need or want in order to make it more fun for you? Because, let's be honest, it's no fun trying to do something when something doesn't work and you end up getting frustrated. Luckily, me personally, I'm the sort of person that doesn't really get frustrated all that much. I get disappointed sometimes, but that's different. I don't really get frustrated, and I don't get annoyed. That's my pride. I pride myself on that. I don't get angry. I don't get annoyed over many things. Road rage, you know, just general things, you know, hobbies, even work, especially work. I mean, work. Why would you get annoyed, frustrated, angry at work? Work is not worth it. You're there to earn your money and go home. You don't want to be going home feeling stressed, angry, upset. It ain't worth it. If you're getting that in your job, you need to go and do a different job. Anyway, why am I on that topic? That's completely different. Well, it is kind of the same for hobbies. If you're doing a hobby and you're finding yourself getting angry, frustrated, upset, go and find another hobby. But RC is the kind of hobby where you shouldn't be frustrated, angry or upset. Sometimes things don't go to plan, but who cares? I mean, look, if you're subscribed to this channel, you've all seen me trying to coax this MP9 into life with my new engine, and the trouble I've been having with starter boxes. Although I must admit, I will say, well, I'm here for entertainment. I'm here to entertain you, and I try to. And for me, entertainment, I like the entertainment where people they get annoyed. Like Mr. Bean, Two Ronnies, Porridge, The Good Life, 40 Towers. I love 40 Towers. You know, John Cleese, he's a brilliant actor, and he was always getting annoyed. For me, that's entertainment if someone gets annoyed. So I will admit I do play it up a little bit. But, you know, all the times when the starter box was playing up and I couldn't get this to start, who cares, man? I mean, it's a hobby. There's no point in getting annoyed over your hobby. You'll get there in the end, no matter what it is. You know, that's all I can really say. Yeah, there's some disappointment, but there's always disappointment. You know, if you get your, let's just say you've got your brand new Nitro cars turned up, you got it out the box and you can't get it to start. Yeah, you're going to be disappointed, you know, but there's no point in getting angry and thinking, oh, forget it, I don't want it anymore, I'll sell it, it's no good, I can't do it. You know, you can do anything you want to do. That's the thing. And the brilliant thing about Nitro RC, any RC, but Nitro in particular, it poses challenges if you're not mechanically minded, and if you're new to the hobby of RC or Nitro RC. There is some challenges. Some people find the challenges easy to overcome, some people find them difficult to overcome. But the challenges are there, and the outcome of it is, in the end, you learn a lot. And I think personally, if you have challenges and you find it hard to overcome them, when you do overcome them, you've learned so much that you kind of excel more than the people who don't have the challenges in the first place, or they had them but they overcome them very quickly because they're just different minded. That's what I tend to find in life. The people who have the challenges, let's take entrepreneurs, people who are very, very poor, come from a poor background. And, you know, the challenges for them is to survive, to make enough money to survive, to have a house and all that kind of stuff. They had the challenge there. They persevered and they learned so much that in the end they end up becoming millionaires because they just kept going and excelled and started businesses and become rich. But then you get the people who are born into alright families, never really had the challenge to have to really, well, they have to go to work, but what I'm trying to say is they never had the challenge of just being able to survive, because they could just, they're smart and they can just go to work, earn some money, survive, have a house, live happily. But they just stay on that line. They don't excel because they've never had the challenge to overcome. My point is, if you're getting frustrated with your new Nitro car, and you're finding all the advice and help on the YouTube, and people in person telling you things overwhelming, complicated, not working, just sit back, take in all the knowledge, and eventually you'll find a way that works for you, and you'll learn, and you'll be better than all of those people. You'll be better than everyone. I can tell you for a fact, I've helped loads of people. There's 3 or 4 I can think of now. I've helped with RC. And now they haven't just got 1 or 2. They've got a whole collection of Nitro RC cars. And they go racing. And, you know, they've got loads of stuff. Because they had problems to start with. They really fought to overcome the challenges. And now they're just loving life. They've got more RC cars than you can imagine. Another one's Kevin Talbot. I don't know Kevin personally. He lives not far from me. I often see his Land Rover Defender driving round. But from what you see on the internet, if that is to be believed, which I believe it is, I've got a lot of time for him, because he come from an ordinary background. I think he used to be a welder. So just like me, I used to be a welder before I started driving plant. And now look at him, multi-millionaire, with all that stuff, because he was enjoying himself, overcome the challenges, and away he went. Got a lot of time for people like that. So you lot, that's why I'm still going to be here, you know, for a while. And if you've got any questions, put it in the comments. And I've already got 2 that I've got to make videos of. 2 people have asked me questions, and they've asked me specifically to make videos, not replying to comments with the answer. They want me to make videos, so that's what I'm going to do, on how to remedy their problems. So I'm going to be doing that. If you've got any questions, stick it in the comments, and I'll try to help you. But also, I'm picking up quite a few now. We've got over nearly 4,500 subscribers on this channel. So if you're not one of them, I suggest that you be one of them. And one of them will help you, because a lot of them are very knowledgeable people and they know a lot of stuff. You know, so amongst us all, we'll get you going. You know, we'll help you out and we'll get you going. So don't be afraid to comment. Any questions, even if you think it's a stupid question. No question is a stupid question. Stick in the comments. We'll all help you out, and we'll all big friends. Big friends. We'll all be friends. And enjoy yourself and enjoy the hobby. Take care, you lot. All the best.